So, there's no excuse for the media not to hold the president to account for telling lies.
Absolutely not, and all credit to Col Allen, great editor, with which we have fond memories here in Australia. Look,
Yes.
In this short amount of time we have left, Miranda, I want to talk again about the role of social media, of big tech in this. I think your story really was the first time I woke up to how serious this problem is. We've seen it time and time again. Only a few weeks ago we had Dr. Joe Bhattacharya on this program, a distinguished immunologist at Stanford University who was censored by Facebook and by the other social media companies much the same way, and there's evidence there of high-level collusion between government authorities and the high-tech authorities. It was only a matter of time before I think we started to see their interference in Australian politics, and lo and behold, last week, it seems big tech has decided to buy into the contentious debate over the so-called voice to parliament, something that's going to be put to a referendum in this country as a change to the Constitution. Last week, the Institute of Public Affairs posted a video on Facebook in which Senator Jacinta Bryce, James McGrath and a respected academic, Anthony Dillon, just explained why they were voting no. That was taken down by Facebook because they said it violated their rules. It seems that Facebook is taking sides on this debate. And wait for it, in support of a so-called Aboriginal voice to Parliament, an Aboriginal woman elected to Parliament is being denied a voice on Facebook. I mean, this is blatant and extremely damaging and frightening in the context of Australian politics. Would you agree?
It really is. It's so sinister. It's so frightening. It's Big Brother. It's the Stasi. It's all of that. And it does not surprise me one bit because this has been happening in the United States. I dare say it's probably been happening in Australia over COVID particularly. Facebook and Twitter have weighed in and deplatformed people, censored people, shadow banned people. Anything that does any dissension from the sort of government line is quickly stamped out. And so, they always have an excuse. So, it might be the voice one day, it might be COVID another day, it might be vaccines, climate change is another one. Today, we just got news, the American Medical Association has written a letter to Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, the Department of Justice and Big Tech, basically, to say you need to investigate and censor people who are criticising those hospitals which are conducting gender transit, or whatever you call it, gender mutilation, basically surgery on minors, on children, chopping off breasts and so on. There's been a lot of sort of commentary about that. A lot of parents are upset about the fact that schools are now putting children into this sort of transgender counselling without their permission, that hospitals are conducting gender transitioning without parents' consent. And this is, a serious issue that people should be allowed to speak up on. And yet we now find that the AMA is going to do what they've done before, what other like the teachers union did a little while ago with parents who are complaining at school board meetings about critical race theory and gender ideology. They complained to Merrick Garland, to the DOJ, and the White House was involved, and they managed to sic the FBI onto parents at school board meetings. You are seeing this unholy alliance between government, big tech, and also, and I think you'll see it in Australia, the law enforcement. And so that's a really chilling situation. It is like East Germany. And I think, look, for America, I think, and this will have knock-on effects for Australia, I think if the Republicans win, as it looks like they will, at least the House, if not the Senate, next month, they will start doing investigations and cracking down on big tech. I think if they win back the White House, they will be able to break up big tech. I think there's a lot of a lot of demand for that, and also to do something about the FBI, which is abusing its power, has no accountability. And the fact is that Facebook and Twitter and Google, these are globalist oligopolies. They don't care about the Constitution of the United States. They don't care about Australian civil liberties. They are a law unto themselves. They're more powerful than the leader of the free world, as they showed when they deplatformed President Donald Trump. Australian parliamentarians are some of them are pretty aware of the threat, but I wonder if they are willing to do what it takes to safeguard Australian liberties, because really it suits government to have big tech on their side and silencing dissent. It works for the Labor Party for that to continue because they want the voice. So I don't know how Australians really fight back against it. At least in America, there are there are legal recourses. There's their constitutional rights. I feel like Australians are less protected than Americans.